Hey, welcome to Nebi Invest. Now, my previous video was about what is a breaking out stock, and naturally enough, the next video has to be what is a hot stock, because sometimes a company who is breaking out becomes a hot stock eventually. I'll get into my definition of what a hot stock is, look at some examples, look at potential examples, and some current examples. So let's get into what is a hot stock. So what do I look out for in a hot stock? So the first thing I do is those companies whose share price is breaking out. I keep an eye on those companies, and I keep an eye on for about a month or so to see what the share price is doing. It could be going sideways. It could be developing into a bit of an uptrend, and that could mean the company has turned from a breaking out stock into a hot stock. Now, not all hot stocks start off as a breaking out stock. Sometimes it's just a shift in momentum and sentiment, and in those sort of circumstances, I actually don't wait a month. I could buy fairly quickly after I see that shift in momentum and sentiment. And typically there is some sort of positive news flow behind the change in momentum, the change from a breaking out stock into a hot stock. And I'm going to get into examples of that in the next few slides. So the first example of a potential hot stock is a company that I do own currently, and that is Hammer Metals. Now, this company's share price did break out on January the 20th. Share price rose 176% on significant volume. And then more importantly, over subsequent days, we didn't see any significant selling. We did see the share price pull back towards 4 or 5 cents, which would have been fairly negative. So the company's share price has broken out, but I'm just waiting now, being patient before I add any more to my holding. Share price is consolidating. You might even say, if you're a trader, that this is looking like a flag or a panic, which is quite positive also. And there is potential for significant upside with some more follow-up positive news, which there is potential. So I'm fairly keen on Hammer Metals right now, particularly if the share price gets above 10 cents. I think this could run quite a bit. Now, the second example I've got you is a shift in sentiment and trend example, and this is Volpara Health Technologies, ticker code is VHT. This is the company that's been on my watch list for a long time. I've been waiting for this sort of shift in sentiment and trend. The share price had been drifting sideways for about 8 to 9 months, ever since the COVID-19 financial panic, trading between a range, you could even say, between about $1.25 and $1.35 or $1.40. And it seems like that trend might have shifted, that sentiment might have shifted in January this year, when you can see the moving averages all starting to go into an uptrend. Share price has broken above $1.60, which is quite bullish. So this example, there's no breakout, no significant news. There was some news the other day, but I don't really know it at this point. It's just a shift in sentiment and trend after a long consolidation period. So I am waiting for potential significant upside with follow-up positive news. There was some news a few days ago. I think they did an acquisition, if I remember correctly. So this is just an example of a shift in sentiment and trend leading to a potential hot stock in the future. So now some current examples, and they're all different sort of hot stocks you find on the market. In this example, I'm showing you a slow burner. This is my preferred hot stock buy, and that's BlueScope Steel. Now, I bought BlueScope Steel way back in August, when there was a bit of a shift in sentiment and trend. You can see that shift in sentiment trend has driven the share price from around $12 all the way up to about $18, so about 50% gain in 5 or 6 months. But the reason I call it a slow burner is you don't see a significant quick rise in the share price. Now, behind the rise in the share price, we have seen 3 earnings upgrade in 4 months. So that has been the fundamental side of this positive trend, this hot stock. So I do like to see that sort of positive news flow happening with a business like BlueScope. We have seen the past month some negative sentiment come into BlueScope. Just drove the share price from $19 all the way back to $16. But during that time period, they actually had another profit upgrade. So I don't know why the share price has been falling, just I think some profit taking. So this is an example of a slow burner. You still make a lot of money with this. Again, 50% rise in 5 or 6 months. That's a pretty good gain for a company like BlueScope. So my next example is a company that you can't really define as a slow burner, and that is Vulcan Energy. Unlike BlueScope Steel, whose share price has only gone up 50% in 6 months, and I said that was a pretty good gain for a company like BlueScope, Vulcan Energy's share price has gone up 4,000% in 8 months. So if you've a shareholder been holding through that period, you've done very well. So a lot of positive sentiment and momentum behind not only the company, but also the industry. So you've really seen some benefits if you've been holding this company, any company really within this industry, and Vulcan Energy has been the beneficiary of this really positive sentiment. They've also had some positive news flow behind the company as well, and that's also helped drive the share price forward. Now that's all I've got on this video of what is a hot stock. So I hope you've learned something. Hope I've inspired you potentially to do some further research on these companies that I've looked at in this video. Now, the whole point of me doing these videos is to give you some ideas, not to give you advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. So if you do need some financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial circumstances. That's all for this video. If you want to leave a comment in the comment sections. I hopefully will answer it in due time. But that's all for this video. Have a good day. Bye.